Lynch?
Kane, welcome to Shanghai. Long fucking flight, huh? Good to see you. Been a while. I just gotta do this one thing. I need to talk to this guy in here and send him a message.
Huh?
Yeah, he's been talking too much.
Put down your gun! You hear me? Son of a bitch!
My name is Karsten Lund. I'm a game director at IO Interactive, and I'm here to talk about Kane Lynch 2 Dark Days. Well, right now we're in bug fixing mode, development. We just came out of polish. I'm going into like QA-driven polish, you can say, right? Finding all those little quirky bugs and making sure it's super solid. Everything's in place and playing well from start to finish. Now we're just going to make sure it's a super sweet experience. So in the section that you just saw, we're sitting in a car, Kane and Lynch, together with Glazer, our boss of the game, you can say. He's trying to brief us for some arms deal that we're going to go through, and but all of a sudden we're getting hit by a car. So we get to actually participate in a big firefight in the middle of a highway with a great car crash, burning cars all over, and just running through that, being attacked by goons from all angles. Right? So it's pretty intense actually, and they escape down to a parking garage, which is very interesting, I think, to do like a everyday real life location, and having a firefight in the middle of that really adds to the drama. So, you know, throwing canisters, everything exploding, dogs running around and all that stuff, it's pretty intense. I mean, they're doing all sorts of criminal activity in Shanghai, but they land themselves this big arms deal, and that's why Kane is here, called in to help, and Kane is getting briefed. They put together all the papers, and he's supposed to make this go the right way. They don't know anything about it, so yeah, that's why he's there. When we knew we were going to make a game based on Lynch, and we really decided to go with the crime shooter universe, we wanted to make it feel more real. I mean, in every aspect, right? We're trying to do it with all the visual effects and the audio and the choice of location and everything, but also with the gameplay to have a feeling that you only have what you can get in the scene. It's not like you have an inventory of 20 weapons and grenades and everything. You need to pick up the guns that just lie there from the guys you just killed, and grab a canister in the world, shoot it, and you don't like pack big ammunition depot and stuff like that. To give it that feeling of intensity, right? And you have to plan a little bit who you're shooting, where you're shooting them, can I get that weapon, and how do I advance like that. Being Lynch, I mean, we totally had to revamp the mechanics to fit his character traits, right? Everything is happening much closer to him. It's much like deal with it as you go along. No squad commanding or rappelling or all that sort of military stuff is out, so you have this more intense, more in his way, you can say. There's lots of stuff, explosive stuff everywhere in the scene. Some of it is hidden, some of it is very obvious. It's fun to actually explore and just find something and try and throw it. If you're really, really accurate, you can actually hit them in the heads with the enemies, and they'll fall over as well. And we put in a few surprises, pick-upable stuff in the scenes. The human shield mechanic is like, that's our close combat system. So if you get close enough to the enemy, you grab them, and of course you threaten them with a gun, and you use that as a shield. It'll give you some extra leverage in the firefights, but you can also choose to like throw him, and you can actually throw the character at another character to like make him fall over, or you can actually throw him through doors instead of kick doors, or you can choose to execute him on the spot, which will create a slight pause and a reaction in the AI. They'll just stop for a moment just to buy you some time to get to cover again. It's a way of creating movable cover, right, in the scenes where there are no covers. The visual style and the whole take on the style is to create a greater immersive feeling, you can say, right? That's the point. So I hope that people experience the game as a universe that they immerse themselves into, and not just pinpoint the little effects. Everything should be gelling now and playing together, right? So yeah, I think we really tried hard to make sure that it doesn't intrude. I mean, it's not intrusive of gameplay. The gameplay experience is still pretty solid, but you have a feeling of a more dynamic, camera and actually being there a little bit more. Right? I think instead of saying, okay, let's just copy one-to-one real world, we kind of make our perception of credibility and reality, and I think it really comes across. Hey, I'm Karsten Lund from IO Interactive. You've been listening to me talk about Kane Lynch 2 Dog Days, and the game's gonna come out the 27th of August.